Hello, my crafting buddies. I am trying to set up a new tripod here. Don't know that it's working out really good because it doesn't have, here's the edge of the table, it doesn't have the ability to twist my camera. So, hi, it's Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. And I do not know how well this is going to work out. Let me see if I can maybe go like this. I have to find a way to prop it up a little bit so we can see my workstation. Maybe I'll just have to go like this and do the best I can. So, and I don't know if it's actually, I don't think it's angled quite right either. So we might be in portrait mode. It looks like we're in portrait mode, so I'm gonna just, sorry, I hope you're not getting dizzy. We're gonna go like this and we'll do the best I can. Good thing I have everything pretty much cut out. There, maybe this will work. All right, well, we're in portrait today, not landscape. We'll do the best we can. Let's get this out of the way. I am working with the Beautiful Blues kit again because if you've been with me before this week, or during this week rather, I'm traveling. So I don't have all of my supplies. And I'll try to get it so that you can't see my slippered feet here. We'll go to the end of the table, hopefully. Excuse me. So I am working with this Beautiful Blues kit, and it is absolutely beautiful. If you've been with me earlier this week, you've seen a few of the projects that I've done. I still have a couple of more ideas that are coming to mind. Last night I kind of struggled a little bit coming up with ideas, but I think they actually turned out pretty good. So let me just show some of the elements of the kit. All right, so we've got a card base here that is just like a sky wash. We have some floral card bases that it seems like a waste to have the front and the back. The back you're not going to be able to see very much. And then there is also, that's that piece. There's 3 bases, and I think I used up some of the other ones. So I'm not going to worry about that one right now. But some of the other elements include some of these die cut pieces. So they're laser cut. This is one where you can see on the design here, it put it on this sky wash kind of piece. Oh, here's the other piece. And I do actually have a card front that I'm going to show for this one. This was just printed on one side, so the back half of the card was white. And then this is the other piece that I showed you. It comes with all kinds of envelopes that coordinate. And last night I did this cute little bag out of an envelope. So if you have never seen how to make these little bags, watch last night's video and you'll see it's really easy to do that just out of an envelope. All right, so I'm just going to show a few of the card fronts that I came up with. The sentiments are really nice on these. Here are some of the other laser cut pieces. So we've got some flowers, we've got some sentiment backings, we've got some sentiment strips, and like with this sentiment backing, if you turn it over, you have just a bright white that would make a very nice contrast for something like this, okay? So I am not going to do anything with these pieces because I do have one ready to go that I just had a piece of the cloud cover cardstock. So this is 8.5 by 5.5. I scored it at 4 1/4. And all I did so simply is take that laser cut piece and I'm going to glue it on my card base. And then we'll use one of these. It's like a flourish, I guess, but it has a spot on here where you can attach the sentiment, all right? And I would put this up on dimensionals. So one of the sentiments from the kit is wishing you comfort. So that's what I'll put on that one, okay? Another one that I did was if we take the card base for here and take it off of the white background. I mean, you could leave it on as the full card. There would be nothing wrong with that. I just happen to have this one cut off. And then I took one of these pieces and I cut the flowers out because I liked the flowers without the frame. And I'll show you kind of how that looked. I liked the flowers without the frame. All right, I didn't finish this card because obviously I don't have all of the things that I want to go with it. But I cut off the frame and then I cut off some of the loose pieces. Like here, I cut off part of a rose and part of this foliage piece, these here, so that I just had this left here. So don't be afraid to cut up your laser cut pieces if you have something else in mind. So with that frame, I'm going to cut this down to be more of a card front size, and I'm going to put this frame on here. I may use my adhesive strips to raise that up. I might put a piece of window sheet, clear acetate, on here and put some sequins or something in there to make it a shaker card. I haven't decided. I'll finish that when I get home. And then this is another of the sentiments from this kit that says you're so kind. Now that's kind of big, so I could use something smaller, like you're in my thoughts. That looks good. And then the other one is sending love. So either one of those will work, and I'll decide on that once I get home and can finish these. All right. So another one for tonight is, and again, you could leave this as a full card base. I happened to cut it in half so that I could extend the use. And I took this piece here, and I was making like a step-up card yesterday, and this was one of the extra pieces I had. So if I just cut it like 1.5 inches by, I don't know, 3.5 inches, I can put it on this base. And I used this die from, let's move this little piece. This is from the Beautiful Motifs die. There's a stamp set with it as well. So this is a bundle. But I use this piece with just a piece of white cardstock. And I will attach this here and a little sentiment and probably some embellishments. And the embellishments that come with this kit are really quite pretty. They're blue with some glimmer in them. It doesn't really look like glitter, but they're really pretty. They are faceted. I don't know if you can see those very well. Guess I should move over here. But they're really pretty, so that'll work on there. So that's another one. And then the last one I'm going to show tonight, because I'm going to save a couple of others for tomorrow. Let me go get these out of the way. Is I took this card base again, but instead of having it like a normal card, I'm turning it inside out. And then, so this is 8.5 by 5.5. Normally it's scored at 4 1/4. When I fold it inside on itself, I can score it again here at 2 1/8, because that's going to be half of the 4 1/4. And if we fold that back and use our bone folder, we can get this to lay down a little nicer, hopefully. And then I took part of this piece, so I had cut these in half, remember, And I cut this one just using this corner, and I can save this for another project. And I'm going to put that here. Okay. So I could go ahead and attach that right now. So what I'm going to do is know that I can only go on this half. So we'll get rid of some of these pieces. And I'll actually get a few cards put together. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. And this will actually make it easier for me to put the next layer on for the inside of the card. Okay. So you want to make sure you don't have any glue overlay because it'll stick on here, right? So then I cut a white piece that's going to be my inside layer. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lay this will be the back. I'm going to lay this right on top of here, all right? I'm going to put some glue on here. And this is the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. And, whoops, I almost flipped it over. I'm going to line that up here. And I'm lining it up to that front layer. And I cut this just ever so slightly smaller than that top one. And I'm just going to go ahead and close this. And then we have our Z-fold card, all right? So that's just a Z-fold with this front piece on there. And then what I thought I would do here is, this is a new ribbon. This is only available to demonstrators right now who have signed up for an upcoming event. And this is a Misty Moonlight new ribbon that's glimmery. It's got silver in there. So what I thought I would do here is I will put this on the front of my card, just wrapped around this top layer. And I am just going to tie a knot in it. We'll move that over to the edge. All right, so we'll just do a knot rather than a bow. Maybe if I can find where my other end is. There we go. All right. And then I'll just slide this over a little bit to camouflage that side. I think this ribbon is just so pretty that it works really well with this card. And then I'm just going to trim these ends a little bit because I don't want it super long. I just want to have that extra embellishment on there. And then I am just going to do a Sending Love on dimensionals. So let me pull some of those out. There are, with these kits, you get everything you need in the kit except for some of the extra pieces when I'm making the alternatives here. But you'll get the gems, you'll get a block, you'll get a stamp and spot. So we get a Night of Navy stamp and spot. You get all the laser cuts. So here we'll just put 2 of these because these also come with the kit. And we're just going to put this on here. And then let's see if I can find... I have some embellishments started, but I don't know where they're at. So I'm just going to start another one. And we'll just put a few of these on here. Usually I use my Take Your Pick tool, but it is in my other bag, so it's not handy. And it's late here. I'm on the East Coast tonight, so it's a little after midnight for me right now. But I wanted to kind of stay with the time frame that I normally use when I'm Central Time. So there's that card. Such a simple fold. So that is it for my samples for tonight. I have a couple of more ideas for tonight with this kit. So until next time, happy crafting.